So guys, I got stuck in LA. Now, I had my hot ass wife with me, so it turned into a little bit of a vacation. But I will tell you, when you're somewhere for 3 days longer than you thought you were going to be there. Okay, we had a 22-hour trip. We're going to fly in. ONE FC was holding a press conference. And I've never really got to do anything with ONE FC. My original experience with ONE FC was waking up at 3 in the morning and getting a feed from Front Row Brian that I could watch Ben Askren go out and compete. So I just share this because there's been talk that ONE FC is coming to America. Like, this talk has been going on for a long time. They were even going to get American names and people that you guys would use. Well, now they get the announcement they're coming to Amazon. They're going to be on Amazon Prime. And that's kicking off soon. I mean, I want to say in like July. So this is going to come right up. But we've got a lot of our heroes over there, right? Demetrius Johnson is over there. We got Eddie Alvarez over there. It's being ran, or helped being ran, executive, and Rich Franklin. So all set up with these familiar faces. So I pop in. I'm going to go get the scoop on ONE FC. Well, what ends up happening is my plane gets moved. But my plane that was supposed to leave at 9 p.m. gets moved to 1 a.m. I must tell you, planes don't go out at 1 a.m. I've gone in and out of LAX my entire life. They don't go at 1 a.m. So I'm thinking, okay, they're going to move this one more time, which is going to result into cancellation. I had better get a hotel to stay in tonight, and I had better move this ticket. Now, I've never gone online and tried to move a ticket before, but you got to log into this database, and if you want to be eligible to move the ticket, you must put your current tickets on something called hold. Until you put them in this weird purgatory of hold, it won't let you go to the next step, which is seeing what other flights go out. So I go do that. There are no other flights that go out. Oh, by the way, while my tickets were on hold, somebody bought them. So I'm not only delayed an entire day, I have to go into the next day just to catch a flight out. No, I don't have enough socks and enough underwear. The good news was I find a workout. I find a gym. The ONE FC press conference is over, but all the guys are going to go do a training. Great. Call my partner Ryan, run down there with a camera, see what we can get. Now, if you guys saw this on my Instagram, allow me to repeat myself, but there has been a story about Eddie Alvarez that has gone through our industry since roughly 2006. 2006, 2007, Eddie and I were both fighting in a promotion called Bodog. Now, Bodog had a lot of guys that you guys like start through there. Jake Shields came through there. Cain Velasquez came through there. Jake Ellenberger came through there. I can play this game for a while. But we're all very hungry. We're all without an opportunity. And we're all kind of coming through the rise together. And Bodog just provided for some awesome opportunities. They were throwing fights in Costa Rica at private resorts, just by example. So you get called in, you got to go to a venue, but the venue ends up being this private location on the beach with a ring set up. I mean, there are some really great memories from Bodog, but one of the stories that everybody believes to be true, they threw an after party on a ship. And there was some gangsters that were involved with this, right? In the history of fighting, whether it's boxing or MMA, a lot of times that's ran by some groups that are known as organized. So one of the organized guys, hits a woman. He slaps her or he hits her some kind of a fashion, and he does it publicly, right on the dance floor, and she goes down, and Eddie Alvarez, without even thinking, knocks the guy out. All of that's true. I can tell you that's true. We were all on the ship. The rumor that this industry has believed for 15 or 16 years is that the gangsters then took Eddie off the boat into the middle of nowhere and made him dig a hole himself. He had to dig the hole. And then they explained, Eddie thought he was going in the hole right then. But supposedly they said to him, we're going to take you back to the boat. But just so you understand, you don't ever put your hands on one of us again. And they let him go. I don't know if it's true. I just know the story has been out there. I've always wondered, and many other people are certain that it's true. Eddie Alvarez is there. I went up and asked him. Hey, Eddie, that time on the ship, that time we were in Bodog, all those years ago. Now, Eddie said no. I filmed it, though. If you guys want to go to my Instagram, I filmed it. Eddie said no. And I said, well, you know the story. I'm not just making something up. He goes, no, I know the story. I know that the story is out there, but I'm telling you, it didn't happen. But then he wouldn't look at me and he wouldn't stay on camera. He, in fact, turned around and he was laughing and he got highly uncomfortable. Anything that could ever happen as a guy is telling you no, but that would make you think yes. I'm telling you the story the way it happened. Eddie said no. Eddie says that's a rumor. That's garbage. Turned his back and walked off camera. So you do with that what you want, right? I haven't got to see Eddie in a while. Why that was the first thing I thought, the first place I thought Eddie and I should pick up, I don't know. But maybe because you guys know the story and I'm letting you know, Eddie says it did not happen. That's the official answer. So I'm making my way around the gym. There's Buchecha. Now, if you guys don't know who Marcus Buchecha is, if I was to take you back to the year 2013, I also did not know who Marcus Buchecha was. I'd heard that name, though. In the grappling worlds, I'd heard of Buchecha. And Buchecha had some back and forth with Roger Gracie, who's a very big name in grappling. But I was working at Fox. And one of the people I was working with was Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier said, hey, let's go meet for a workout, but I'm going to bring this guy in. We got to pay him $300 for an hour. So let's both put 150 in and I can get Buchecha there. Now, I'm in. No problem, but I will share with you. When you're to the level of Daniel Cormier, you don't pay people to come in and work out with you. People are lined up. And so I did ask Daniel about that. I said, hey, man, I'm good for the 150, but why are you paying him? And Daniel said, because he's so good, he can't get anything out of the workout. He can't get anything from working out with me. It's a waste of his time, so I need to pay him for that time. Really? You're telling me there's a 23-year-old kid out there who I'm not familiar with, who can whip your ass so bad, it's a waste of his time. Daniel says, yeah, and he's going to whip your ass just as bad, so just bring the 150 and I'll meet you down at... Okay, I go down to the gym. I think we're working at Jay Glazer's place. I bring my money. So Buchecha stays in. Now, this is just jiu-jitsu. But Buchecha stays in, and Daniel and I rotate on him for 44 minutes. He was worth every cent. I don't know how I got to work with that guy and only had to pay $150. He ran through us. And believe me, I'm not the guy that likes to come and tell those stories. I have an ego too. And I don't know if my ego would have been able to handle this had Daniel not been right there, right? I mean, what's the expression, misery likes company? So Buchecha now, fast forward, he's a heavyweight. He's moving away from Abu Dhabi. He's moving away from some of these competitive grappling competitions. He's over with ONE FC, and he's going to do professional MMA. Now, within ONE FC, that doesn't mean Buchecha can't also grapple. But for right now, he's focused on MMA, and they dealt him a very hard match. And I told him that. So, by the way, Buchecha, this guy you're getting ready to fight, you're brand new in this sport. This guy was the #1 contender. This guy lost a match, but it was for the championship. I mean, you realize this is a hard match. And he did realize that, and as simple as that conversation might sound, guys, sometimes that's hard to have with a guy. Sometimes guys just want, oh, you're going to kill him. Oh, you're going to crush him. Oh, this guy's got... Like, there's some guys that if they hear anything other than that, they fall apart. And if you're the one to tell them that you're now no longer their friend, I don't agree with that. I think if you've got a relationship with a guy and you're going to talk about his fight, being open and honest while there's still time to prepare is the only way to go. But I shared this with Buchecha, and he says yes. He says, I'm well aware. And I also know that I can grapple over here, and I know Gordon Ryan's coming over here. But I'm going to focus on MMA. He said, I did jiu-jitsu so long, and I did grappling so long, that it started to feel like a job. It started to be something that I was getting tired of. This is completely different. I get to go in the room every day. I get to learn something new every day. Then I ended up talking to Rich Franklin. Now, Rich Franklin, if you guys haven't seen him, Rich Franklin looks amazing, right? Remember how good he looked when he was used to fight? He looks even better in retirement. First time I ever saw Rich Franklin. Okay, now Rich and I ended up in the same weight class. Rich was the champion of the world at 185. I wanted to be the champion of the world at 185. So everything Rich does, I'm following real closely. First time I ever saw him, though, he was in a bar. The event was called WFA. And it was in Las Vegas. So wherever you are, I mean, the relevance to the bar is wherever you are, even if you've got the worst seat in the house, which is where I was, I'm right next to the ring. It's a bar. It's a very small space. Rich Franklin gets into the ring. I don't know his name at this point. He looks like $1 million. He's got his hair done. Right? This guy looks like he should be an underwear model. And the only thing they told us about him is it's not like today where they'll tell you a record, or they'll talk about his amateur background, or they'll talk about, hey, here's his record on the regional scene. The way they were doing it at the WFA is they told us what the guys did. And I mean for a living. So when Rich Franklin gets in there, they tell us that he's an educator. He's an educator with the topic of mathematics. His opponent comes to the ring. Now, his opponent has muscles on top of muscles. His name is Marvin Eastman. If there has ever been an intimidating cage fighter, Marvin Eastman sits on the same page as Robbie Lawler. They announced what he does for a living. He's a prison guard. So you got a mad teacher who's going to take on a prison guard. And this is the first time I saw Rich Franklin. Now, Rich ends up not only winning the fight, he wins it all with stand-up and all with the TKO. But from that day forward, I knew who Rich Franklin was. That is how he got on my radar. He didn't get on being Ace or the similarities in Ace Ventura, none of those things. He didn't get on my radar for being the champion of the UFC or doing Zynex commercials with Matt Hughes. He got on my radar because he was a mad teacher that handled himself against a prison guard in a bar in Las Vegas in 2003.